What are some tips to build trust and rapport with brand new team members during this time?
That's difficult, but it's not impossible. And I think it's going to, first of all, let me encourage you to view this as a chance to show an early and significant win in your new work. That is really, really important. And so as you approach that, we talked a lot about communicating and how you can communicate clear and challenging goals. But I think if you can show that you're being eager to grow and willing to change, maybe you can talk to a team or your team about how do they feel like they need to change right now. How can you show a commitment to doing the right thing the right way? Part of that may be, I need to come alongside you as your friend, and how are you doing? What I mentioned earlier, what challenges do you have, and how can I help you meet them? That should be genuine. A lot of this takes extra preparation, and being a champion, as I talked about, takes extra preparation. So you may need to think through and make a list. And keep in mind, by the way, that each person is probably going to have a different need in terms of how they go forward. Their obstacles will be different. Each member of my team is in a completely different situation than their peers. And so I need to speak to them differently. I need to motivate them differently. I need to come alongside them differently. And so that's something you may want to think about. If you look at each person, how can I meet their needs? What do I think they are? But bear in mind, you might be off. So make sure you're asking what they are. Try to be accountable to each other. That when you say you're going to call them and follow up with them and check on them, make sure you do it. And I think the other thing that really comes to mind is this is an opportunity to show respect, to show excellence, to show leadership. And all of those have very practical ways you can do each of them. And maybe make your own list in your setting of what communicates respect to them, what communicates excellence to them, and what would excellence look like in your business? What does leadership, how is that communicated to them? So those would be some things, and try to, in the course of that, I mentioned earlier about the individual strengths of the team. If you can come up with your best sense of what each member's strength is, then that will help lead you to what their needs are going to be.